right, so today we're going to talk about crafting your story, telling your story. It's one of the most important things that you're going to learn how to do as you are connecting with your audience on a daily basis. So yesterday we talked about your why, and then I had you post a sweaty picture, and we talked a little bit about this yesterday because what happens is your picture, it begins to tell your audience what you're up to. Hey, look, I'm working out. I'm look, I've got this Beachbody workout and I'm working out with it. Oh, isn't this awesome? And then the more and more you begin to develop your why, you'll weave your why into the what you are doing. Because um, what's going to happen in the months ahead is that you're going to be drawing in an audience of people that you have no history with. They're not going to really know anything about you, about your character. You're going to be meeting these people through social media. Maybe you'll make contact with them, Starbucks, wherever you're going to be meeting people. And so, as you begin to post on your Facebook page, you're going to be telling these people that don't know anything about you a story. First, you're going to be telling them who you are, what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how they're going to be able to join you. People are just drawn to a story. Some of the greatest teachers in history were storytellers. Stories paint a picture for us in words. Stories convey ideas. They draw us into an unfolding drama. And a really good story has a happy ending. So I'm gonna try quickly. I think you've guessed by now. It's hard for me to do anything quickly, but I'm gonna try to tell you my story here really quick. One of my stories. I told you one story last night about the debt that my husband and I have incurred, and that has definitely become my why. That is what drives me in this business now. Excuse me. But what first brought me into this business, 4 years ago, Mother's Day, I showed up at my mom's house, and my mom, who is usually a very quick, confident woman, was standing in her living room to greet me, wringing her hands with her head down. She was shuffling, and she couldn't make a decision whether she wanted to walk to her right or her left. I was dumbfounded. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. What had happened is Mother had some cataract surgery, and we would learn later that a lot of people that have what she has, that something traumatic like this surgery that she had can bring on these sudden symptoms. It would be many months later before we'd finally receive the diagnosis. Mom has Parkinson's related dementia. And this kind of dementia is not as much a forgetting dementia as it is you lose, I don't know how to say it, you lose spatial reasoning, the idea of spatial reasoning. So like if Mother's in one room and she walks into another, it's like suddenly the furniture's been pushed back. Maybe there's a hole in the floor and the people that she's familiar with are not there. Her hallucinated friends are now there, and just all kinds. It's been a crazy, crazy, crazy 4-year ride. I at the time my mom was 65, my stepfather was 58. I was working a full-time job. Within that first year, it became very evident quickly that Mom could not be on her own anymore. So I started working part-time, and within the next year and a half, I ended up having to quit my job so that I could stay with my mom, because even though Wayne and I do live paycheck to paycheck, we've always only depended on his paycheck. So I was able to leave my job, and I would sit with Mom. My stepfather did finally retire last December. But it's kind of ironic because last Mother's Day, I was on my patio with two of my kids, and my son was cooking on the grill, and my husband took a picture of my daughter-in-law and I sitting around a table, And when I looked at that picture, I could not believe it. I just couldn't believe how big I had gotten. I had really worked hard through my life to try to be healthy, to eat good, but in the last few years, I literally had drowned all my sorrows in alcohol, and I had ate every other one. I was just eating and drinking, anything just to try to numb the pain. That Sunday, I saw an infomercial on the 21 Day Fix, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, this is it. I got to get this. This is it. So I ordered it. I started working out right away. I started using the containers right away, and I started seeing success right away. I could tell in my clothes immediately that I was dropping pounds. And I was on Beachbody Club, looking for recipes and stuff, and that's when I realized there was a financial opportunity. So I did a little research and found the lady that's my sponsor now, and I began to just learn how to be a Beachbody coach and to enjoy it, to be able to give back a little bit of what was being given to me, because as the pounds started to come off, a lot of that emotional anxiety started to go away as well. For the next several months when I was with Mom, I spent the most amount of time in those months, and I was actually able to enjoy those moments. Mom sleeps a lot, so when I'd get there in the morning and make her breakfast, we'd have Bible reading. I'd pray with her. We would talk. We would laugh. We'd look at old pictures. I've had some precious times with her, and I don't know that I would have enjoyed it as much if I had not have found a way to let go of not just the weight, the physical weight, but the emotional weight that I was dealing with as well. Not only that, but the financial opportunity has allowed my husband and I, we're paying off our first debt, and it's going to be paid off 6 months earlier than we anticipated, and we'll be paying off the second one by the middle of the summer, almost a year earlier than anticipated. So, in telling my story, you see how I drew you into the drama of something that was happening. I found a solution to the problem that I was having, and it was through Beachbody. And Beachbody not only helped me with the problem that I was having physically, but it also is able to alleviate my financial burden as well. And so this is what you want to do. You want to begin to craft your story, because you want to begin to weave this story into every invite. Every time you invite to a challenge group, to a coaching opportunity, you want to begin to weave these stories. And most people have more than one story. This was my Beachbody story. I have my debt story. I have another story that I've told about an illness I had years ago. You have several stories. So you want to learn to tell these stories, to begin to weave these stories into where you offer solutions to people's lives. So that's what you're going to be doing today. You're going to be working on that story, crafting that story. And in the action, it calls for you to post that story on your page. So even if it's just a paragraph, even if there's just a little bit, if you're not sure what your whole story is, reach out. I'll be glad to help you. Your coach, your personally sponsored coach, will be happy to help you as well. Tracy has a call. She does. I think she does it once a month, where you can really learn how to tell your story. It's one of the most important things you're going to do, is tell your story to your audience through your Facebook page, through your Instagram, whatever your social media is that you're using. I hope that helps, and I hope y'all have a fantastic day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.